Yes, unleash the warrior in you. All right, here we go. Savio Vega, ladies and gentlemen, one-on-one with...
From who knows where, weighing who knows what.
Who?
Yeah, who is in the ring right now, McMahon?
No, that's the question. Who is in the ring?
Exactly.
Savio Vega on his way to the squared circle to lock up with this masked individual.
Savio!
From who knows where?
Right. That's what he said.
All right. Savio against who?
Right.
Who's facing Savio in this match?
Hey, got it. I thought who was on first base?
This is getting awfully confusing. Savio Vega against the newcomer in the squared circle. Who?
Yeah, that's what I said. Who? What? Who?
What?
Time you open up the new Ameritech Pages Plus Yellow Pages, check out the Custom Connect section in the front. There, Planet Earth.
And during the break, we got this all figured out here. Savio Vega against who?
Yes, who's facing Savio?
No, the gentleman in the mask there in the yellow is who?
Right. Who's the referee? I don't know who the referee is. Who's wrestling?
Off the rope now, Savio Vega from the near side, and who? Oh, no, nice reversal over the hip. Savio Vega against who? Most unusual name for wrestler. Who charges? And a little slow in the mark, and a little tentative there on the part of who?
Savio Vega's going to be involved in some tremendous attitude adjustment tour. Live events coming to such great cities as New Haven, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, not to forget Albany, New York, Worcester, Massachusetts, and in the great state of Maine, in Portland and Bangor, just around the corner.
Yes, indeed. By the way, the WWF magazine, ladies and gentlemen, on newsstands everywhere this Tuesday. And who's on the cover, JR?
No, Marc, Mero, and Savio on the cover.
Who's in the ring?
Yeah, he's in the ring.
Well,
wrestling Savio.
I understand that now. In any event, who's set up? And he's a big section. And the most unusual wrestler who in control of the moment.
Who looks to be a pretty thick guy, pretty strong-looking athlete.
Who remind you of?
Who?
Well, who? Yeah. I mean, down in the lower abdominal area. And who at the moment dominating the match? Most unusual name. That's going to be difficult. Try and call a match with a wrestler by the name of who. Oh, what an uppercut there. Who against Savio Vega? Come on, get out.
Savio Vega has developed a great rivalry here in the WWF with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes,
we talked about the Attitude Adjustment Tour, and there's no doubt that Savio and Stone Cold will meet somewhere along the way during that Attitude Adjustment Tour. And folks, there's just no way to see the WWF but live and in person.
Oh, West a minute clothesline in. Who catching Savio Vega?
Wow, look at the strength of who.
Oh, wait a minute, down 1, 2, he got it. No, he didn't. And a clothesline. Savio Vega, by the way, this Monday night on Raw, one-on-one with Justin Hogg Bradshaw to it. Almost count of 3.
A little bit of a lax cover there by who.
Uh-oh. Who's doing? This strike you gentlemen is bizarre, calling this matchup with a wrestler by the name of who?
A little bit.
Speaking of bizarre, what about the tights of who?
Oh, I guess you didn't hear about whose deal.
Well, I mean, what deal?
No, whose deal?
Yeah, whose deal? What do you mean by deal?
The endorsement.
Endorsement, wait a minute. Look at this. Oh, we go. Sunset flip in. Who trying to... Oh, what a hard right hand by who? What sort of an endorsement deal does who have?
Wrestling tights by Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom? You only made wrestling tights.
This is their first pair, I think.
We may need a little adjustment. A big farm in the back of the head. Who? With an endorsement contract even before he makes his very first appearance here in the WWF.
First wrestler I ever heard sponsored by underwear.
Well, should his name be who or whom? I mean, look, what is that? Sort of a boxer type look. Sort of a Minnesota-esque type situation.
I think that's more East Coast.
In their tights. And Savio Vega fighting back. Savio Vega with a hard right hand. One thing I'll say for who, this man can take a drubbing. Look at him, he's right back on Savio.
Savio's one of the most intense athletes in the WWF. A guy that always gives you his best. And I'll tell you what, who's taking it to him?
That's who. No, it is who. Yeah, what an uppercut there by who. I'm impressed thus far with this unusual wrestler by the name of who. Who do you think whom might be? Or that's not actually correct, is it?
What?
No, not what. Who? Who is who?
What? Right.
I mean, obviously he's a veteran. Come on, JR.
What? 1 second. I don't know.
Savio Vega surely knows he's in there with a man who knows his way around the squared circle. And look at this. I'm impressed with the wrestling acumen of who? Who against Savio Vega? Vega better do something quickly.
Who is certainly seems to be very relentless. Kind of a methodical pace this guy's established. And he's obvious that he knows every trick in the book. He's shielding his back from the referee, smothering and then raking at the face of Savio Vega.
By the way, Mr. Perfect, what is, we mentioned the magazine, the WWF magazine earlier on. What is this about In the Line of Fire, an interview with you? What are you talking about?
Oh, it's an unbelievable interview. You got to see this, McMahon. It's unbelievable. They have a little talk with me about my career here in the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, there goes who?
Best father and son tag team of all time, I hear.
Yeah.
Look at this, block. Oh, hard by Savio Vega. And another one. Vega hammering away. On who? Off the rope. Ah, the clothesline. Down goes who? Go for the cover. No, can't quite get him.
Savio
back up on his feet.
Savio's hit this masked man with everything but the kitchen sink. And listen to those knife-edge chops.
Reversal. Savio to the buckle. Oh, look out. And a cover. 1, 2. He got it. Nonetheless, an impressive victory.
And a hard-fought one, to say the least. Savio Vega over the masked man simply known as who?
All right, let's take you back now to this past Monday Night Raw. Duke Dumpster Grossi one-on-one with Mankind at around ringside. Jake the Snake Roberts doing color commentary. Take a look at what happens. Welcome back, everyone. We're glad you've joined us this week on WWF Superstars. The Wild Man Marc Mero ready to grace the squared circle momentarily, just as he did last week on Raw. What a matchup that was against Vader, JR.
Well, the Wild Man took every chance in the book this past week on Raw. Certainly living up to his name. The Wild Man will do anything to win a matchup. Take every chance in the book. That's exactly what he did this past week against the 486 monster.
And here they come, the WWF's 1-2 punch. The Wild Man along with the classy Sable.
And it's no wonder Goldust is infatuated with Sable. I mean, everybody in the World Wrestling Federation is.
She is beautiful, no question about it. And she is right there for her man, Wild Man Marc Mero. Here we go, the Wild Man. A very exciting WWF superstar ready to cut loose here this week against who?
Exactly.
Well, here we go again. A controversial wrestler by the name of who? I mean, what is the identity of who? Who, no doubt, is infatuated as well with the presence of Sable, as well as this capacity crowd. Should be a good matchup here. Who against the Wild Man Plus? We've got the Bulldog against Savio. Action, who's facing the Wild Man in this match?
Yes, who is facing the Wild Man?
What are you asking me for? We're asking you.
No, I'm telling you guys, who's facing the Wild Man?
Well, who's going to get paid for winning this match?
Every penny of it. Sometimes his wife gets it.
Who?
Yes, after all, he earns it.
Who does?
Absolutely.
Now, wait a minute. What's the name of the guy wrestling Wild Man Marc Mero?
No, what's on second? Who's facing Mero?
I don't know.
No, he's on third. Who's facing Mero?
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know on third.
Well, why is left field? Because it's center field. The pitcher's tomorrow. The catcher's today. I don't care as a shortstop.
Just wait. Hold on. Let me just ask you this.
All right.
Well, who will win the Battle Royal this Monday on Raw?
No, who is not in the Battle Royal this Monday on Raw? I can tell you this, the Wild Man Marc Mero is, along with the Undertaker, Savio Vega, Goldust, you name them. The great superstars in the Raw Invitational Battle Royal this Monday. Wait a minute. And Goldust, Usher coming out of ringside. Who coming out the rope? Leapfrog by the Wild Man. Wild Man hits the deck, right back up on his feet over the hip. Nicely done. Wild Man Marc Mero set up who? Drop toe hold, nicely executed. And the Wild Man,
I don't think Sable is interested at all in the gift from Goldust.
not receptive at all to this obsequious looking Usher, I guess you'd call him.
I think he's squarely looking.
Well, follow what you will. Armbar applied by the Wild Man Marc Mero.
Look at him walk away.
Reminds me of Mr. Perfect's walk.
I don't think so.
Well, you walk the walk, you talk the talk. Elbow right
there.
Oh, look at this, and another one. Wild Man Marc Mero is going to be missing a few teeth. He's going to look like Henry Godwinns if this keeps up. He was out here earlier on.
And right now, Who hammering away on the back of the neck and a look of concern on the face. Uh-oh, my goodness. You want to talk about concern, ladies and gentlemen. Wildman Marc Mero should be very concerned with the presence of Goldust, the man he's going to be facing at SummerSlam. Near fall there. And what about that, the Usher Goldust? What's the story on that?
If looks could kill. Fatal Attraction, 1987. Wild Man. At SummerSlam. I will burn your jungle to the ground. And then, when it's all over, you or Linus will be mine forever.
Marc Mero, sweetheart, save yourself the heartache. Lock the cage. Let the lioness roam free. For when the horizon evaporates into the night, Sable will never forget the name of Godwinns.
Unbelievable. Wild Man with a hard right hand. And with the velocity of that right hand, it's almost as if you could hear Goldust in Marlena, JR.
Well, certainly Wildman Marc Mero has been infuriated by the actions of Goldust, and it certainly baffles a lot of us that Goldust is, well, he looks like Marlena would be a handful for him. Now he's has the sight set on Sable as well. What do you think he's got on his mind?
Well, it's always been a platonic professional relationship, allegedly, with Marlena. Oh, no! It is Wildman Marc Mero now with Who down to it and got the
I have to tell you what, that was a great move by Marc Mero.
That really was, especially considering his right there on his face by Who just a moment before going into that maneuver. The same maneuver that Stone Cold Steve Austin claimed Wildman did intentionally and busted open his mouth. Nonetheless, that could very well happen to Goldust. I'm sure that's on his mind. To the victor go the spoils.
Certainly a nice move by Wildman Marc Mero using his legs to create the pinning situation. But you got to wonder how the Wildman will fare this week on Raw. And I think he's going to let us know how he feels about this note from Goldust right now.
Money in there or something.
Doesn't matter. He's tearing it up just like he's going to tear up Goldust at SummerSlam in the competition this Monday on Raw.
Gorilla Monsoon will join us, by the way, and give us the disposition of the Intercontinental Championship.
Did you hear that? It sounds like Ahmed's career's down the toilet.
Total combined weight of 518
You know, how
pounds.
insensitive can you be?
What?
You've set new standards in terms of insensitivity here tonight on Raw.
Oh, I'm just getting started.
Who, ladies and gentlemen, joining TL Hopper to square off in tag team action
Hey, look!
against the Godwinns.
Hey, you know what? If Bob Dole wanted to pick an athlete to be his running mate instead of Jack Kemp, he should have picked Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund, ladies and gentlemen, out here at ringside, campaigning, book in hand as usual.
Backlund, have a seat right here. I'm for you. I'm going to vote for you twice.
Well, you can't vote for someone twice.
I've done it before.
Sit down. King doesn't want to shake your hand.
Well,
you're going to join us, Mr. Backlund. There's the headset. Here we go. Hillbilly Jam and the Godwinns against TL Hopper. And
yeah, no, I don't want to shake your hand.
And there they are. The Godwinns slopping all in that bucket. Easy. Bob Backlund, ladies and gentlemen, putting a headset on. This is going to be a most interesting situation here. Former World Wrestling Federation champion, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Backlund.
It's a pleasure to be out here with the plebeians, Mr. McMahon.
Thank you. I guess that's a compliment. All right, tag team action. TL Hopper and Who going at it in tag team action.
Who?
The first time. Who?
Don't you fellas mess with old Betsy now.
No, we promised not to. Betsy the plunger.
Ahmed could use old Betsy there to flush his kidneys out.
You know, you're going to get yours. It may take us a little while. It may take to this Sunday at SummerSlam, but Jake the Snake is going to give you yours, I promise.
Hey, all this talk about blood and kidneys and stuff. You know, I just got a note here handed to me. It said doctors have found traces of blood in Jake the Snake's alcohol stream.
All right, here we go. Henry Godwinn standing side headlock now against Who. It will be the Godwinns in tag team elimination action, ladies and gentlemen. All four teams in there. Only one will come out with the championship. Look at that. A tackle. Henry Godwinn off the rope over Who from the other side now, and nice hip toss. Yes, we've got the Godwinns, the Guns, the Rockers, and the Body Donnas all in tag team elimination action.
Hey, we got Bob sitting here.
Mr. Backlund, when are we going to see you back in the squared circle? Tag is made. Here we go, Phineas now.
I have some definite plans, Mr. McMahon, for the future.
You have plans for the future?
I have some very important plans.
I know that you want to be the world wrestling partner. You want to be the president of the United States.
That's a
be in San Diego at the Republican
goal
convention.
that's very important to me, but I have some other things that are even more important.
I see.
And that's to benefit the plebeians by bringing in somebody that can...
Whoa! That can what? Look at this. T.L. Hopper slammed to the canvas by Big Phineas.
That can achieve a goal.
Spit it out.
And that is to take the WWF title away from a person that's having a bad effect on our society as a whole. And that person can have an agenda that's going to improve the morality of our society, McMahon. And if that's not important to you, it's important to me.
Now, wait a minute. You're disparaging the good character of Shawn Michaels, are you not?
You see the things that he does in the ring?
I've seen the things Shawn Michaels.
What does that portray to our youth?
It portrays charisma. It portrays athleticism.
A man that has to stoop to those kind of movements should not be a representative of our society, and children should not be allowed to watch that type of activity.
What are you talking about? Shawn Michaels is a great athlete.
They remind me of the school systems today, Vince McMahon. The school systems of today, McMahon. You know what they won't let people teach? They won't let people teach our children that thou shalt not steal.
Right. Shawn Michaels is a heathen.
They won't let our teachers teach that thou shalt not kill.
What? Right, Mr. Beck.
Right, McMahon? Right or wrong?
This is not Meet the Press. All right, to the block. Oh, my goodness, and down to the canvas.
However, they will teach our youth.
All right, so wait a minute.
How to not acquire AIDS. By applying a condominium.
Excuse me, Mr. Backlund, but in any event, so...
What, McMahon?
So let me get this straight.
You what? I don't want my daughter to go to that kind of school. I preach abstinence to stop diseases, ladies and gentlemen.
I understand.
But our school systems won't allow it, McMahon.
I understand that. So let me get this straight now.
That's what I...
Oh, wait a minute. Now you've lost your headset. Wait a second.
Okay, calm down, Mr. Backlund. Calm down. I used to live in a condominium, McMahon. Look out, he's got a chicken wing.
Bob Backlund apparently is going to attempt to bring someone to the World Wrestling Federation that will win the
he's coming back. He's coming back.
Backlund should be in San Diego, shouldn't be out here. By the way, scheduled to join us, ladies and gentlemen, just momentarily, Gorilla Monsoon. Hopefully Mr. Backlund did not preempt much of the opportunity that we will have with Gorilla Monsoon. T.L. Hopper and who doing thus far a pretty good job of cheating and a pretty good job of tag teaming here. Look at this. Attempt to try and get Big Old Phineas up. Nice reversal. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed president of the World Wrestling Federation in our WWF studios, Gorilla Monsoon. Can you please give us some ideas to the disposition of the Intercontinental Championship?
Well, Vince, after reviewing all the facts and knowing how serious the injury is, and I'm left with no alternative but to say that the Intercontinental Championship right now is vacant.
Is vacant. Look at this. And a kick to the head there, and Henry Godwinn on fire. And unfortunately, I'm sure that decision is not going to make a cover here. One. Go look out. That decision, somewhat of an unpopular one on the part of Ahmed Johnson, I would suggest, and also on the part of Farouk, who apparently, for the broadcast, thought that he should be named Intercontinental Champion. Your reaction to that?
Monsoon, what's the deal on that?
Well,
when Shawn Michaels was injured, you just...
slop drop. A cover, a count.
And if you just stop from running your mouth a minute, I'll explain it to you. I'm not about to reward the perpetrator of this incident, and that is Farouk. I'm not going to do that.
Then what's going to happen to the title, Mr. Monson?
I'm formulating a single elimination tournament to begin next week right here on Raw to crown a new Intercontinental Champion, whether you like it or not, King.
All right, the tournament begins here next week on Raw. All that plus, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, we're going to take you to the Hitman Bret Hart and answer some tough questions. The Godwinns celebrating their victory.
I had another question for Monsoon. I wanted to know what he knows about condominium.
It's getting a little chilly in here.
reaction, and so will be Mankind. One thing is for sure, after the Boiler Room Brawl, I don't think The Undertaker or Mankind will ever be the same again.
And I think Mankind has The Undertaker's number.
Well, more than any individual who's ever challenged The Undertaker, Mankind certainly shows no respect whatsoever for The Undertaker.
Can you imagine the ramifications of this matchup? It will begin in the Boiler Room at the Gund Arena in Cleveland and will end in the ring. But from the Boiler Room to the ring, can you just imagine what The Undertaker and Mankind will do to each other?
Who knows what's going to happen? It's the World Wrestling Federation, and it's on pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday night. And yes, The Undertaker brings to life the squared circle. The Undertaker against Mankind, and right now, if you are who, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, why in the world did I ever sign this contract?
I suppose you are. The Undertaker along with Paul Bear at his side. And Paul assisting The Undertaker as he always does in readying him to lock up with who? However, with Mankind in the building, who knows what's going to happen?
Who does know what's going to happen?
Well, I don't know if who knows what's going to happen. Who's going to find out what's going to happen here in a minute when he gets into the ring?
Right.
And I wonder what's going to happen to Jerry the King Lawler at SummerSlam.
Yes, we know what's going to happen to the King, ladies and gentlemen. Last week on Raw, Jake the Snake Roberts, that matchup announced Jake the Snake against Jerry the King Lawler at SummerSlam. And here we go. Look at this. Who's going to work on The Undertaker? The best defense is a good offense. And who, right away, going to work on the man from the dark side? Trying to keep The Undertaker at bay in the corner. Who hammering away with a succession of right hands. And who now sets The Undertaker for the ride. And to the buckle. And moving on. Oh, look at that. Huge boot of The Undertaker. And who, with a delayed reaction, nonetheless, a reaction that sends him down into the canvas. Off the rope and, missing with the elbow, The Undertaker. Knowing full well he cannot afford a loss here against who? Coming into this matchup, the Boiler Room Brawl, The Undertaker could use all the momentum he could possibly get off the rope, and yes, from way up above. One thing about it, in the Boiler Room Brawl, I don't think you're going to likely see anything like that in a Boiler Room.
Watch it. It is going to be very, very physically intense, and here comes the tombstone.
That you just might see. You might see, Mankind planted on a concrete floor in the Boiler Room of the Gund Arena, the site of SummerSlam. And if that happens, the same result would probably occur as we are seeing it now. The Undertaker victorious. I wonder if Mankind is watching. I get the impression he's watching every day. Mankind against The Undertaker.
Okay, here you take a look at it. The patented tombstone. Oh, Undertaker is ready, but Mankind is ready also.
No doubt about it. Unfortunately, unable, certainly not ready to compete at SummerSlam is the injured Ahmed Johnson. Been following this unfortunate injury for some time. Kevin Kelly went down to the hometown of Ahmed Johnson, Houston, Texas, and had an occasion to file this report. You'll see a rather disconsolate Ahmed Johnson.
Go with Jake the Snake Roberts, who definitely has a lot of unfinished business, I have to say, with Jerry the King Lawler.
No doubt about it. Oh, here we go.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Great ovation for this tremendous veteran. What a determined look he has on his face.
I think that's an embarrassed look. Ashamed of himself. Well, he was after what happened at SummerSlam.
Obviously, his whole family, he was humiliated by Jerry the King Lawler. Jake's children were there. Those of you that saw SummerSlam know what I'm talking about. Humiliating Jake the Snake Roberts the way he did. And Lawler will have to answer for what he has done, that's for sure.
You know, you can say what you want about Jake the Snake Roberts and about the problems he's had in the past, but I tell you what, I was here wrestling when Jake the Snake Roberts was in the prime of his career, and this man has got a mean streak a mile long, and he knows how to use himself inside the ring as good as anybody.
Who wasting no time and going right after Jake the Snake Roberts? Who is a burly man, barrel-chested, very strong. But Jake Roberts now, firing back, rights and lefts. But who stops the threat from Jake the Snake Roberts? Of course, Jerry the King Lawler, while he was conducting his tirade at Jake Roberts' expense, Mark Henry came, thankfully, to Jake Roberts' aid.
And Mark Henry had no business interfering with that matchup whatsoever. He didn't belong in there.
Irish whip down with cross, and who puts Jake Roberts down with a big clothesline?
I don't care if Mark Henry's the world's strongest man or what he is. I'm just telling you right now, the man's got no business inside the squared circle. I hope he gets in there before too long and somebody shows him exactly what's supposed to be done.
Well, I know that Jake the Snake Roberts would love to get his hands on Jerry the King Lawler, who has done an outstanding job so far in taking Jake Roberts off his feet. He's got to neutralize that DDT. You can hear the great crowd on hand this week. They are chanting, they want to see it. Jake Roberts' family was on hand at SummerSlam, his small children. And Jerry the King Lawler's antics were humiliating and embarrassing to this great man who has overcome so much.
Well, he poured all that whiskey right down Jake Roberts' throat. I mean, Jake's always looking for somebody to buy him a drink anyway.
Fans, we want to thank everybody who was part of SummerSlam, everybody involved in the great city of Cleveland. We want to thank you so much for making SummerSlam the great event that it was. Who is pounding away?
I think Jake is still hung over from SummerSlam. See that?
He's in agony right now. He's in some pain. But I wouldn't count Jake Roberts out just yet. Here's the crowd again. Oh, they want to see that DDT. Who now takes Jake Roberts over? Builds up a head of steam, and Jake Roberts gets out of the way.
He stumbled.
Oh, we've seen this before. Short arm clothesline. Great veteran maneuver.
Uh-oh. I hate to say it, but here it comes.
He's winding it up.
Here it comes.
This could be Jerry the King Lawler. Oh, hopefully soon.
I'll tell you what, nobody does it better.
Oh, yeah, the 3 count is told.